Now I'm thinking all I have to do is drop the biggest fart. And literally the girls are going to laugh so hard they're all going to kiss me one by one. I start clenching and squeezing my stomach as hard as I can. I'm walking like a newborn deer. Then I feel it, got a big one ready. So instead of just dropping it out and laughing, I want to make a big show about it. I run in front of the group, squat down, turn my head around, and forcibly shit myself.
G'day legends, welcome back to this week's episode of the Six Pack Podcast. You are joined by your hosts, Alex, which is myself, of course, joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. Aaron. Hello, Mr. Aaron.
Hello.
Introduce yourself to the audience again.
Hello.
This is Aaron.
Hello.
All right, what's on the agenda for today, Aaron? What are we talking about? I think we've got a few new things coming in.
Yeah, we do have a couple new things coming up today. We've got our
Won't spoil them though.
No.
I hate not to spoil them.
We'd hate to spoil them. But stay tuned because we've got some new exciting new content for you today.
Yeah. We've taken some feedback from a few of our different podcasts, and we do understand we do like to ramble. That's kind of like our personality traits, right? But we do also want to make this as engaging for you as possible, to you being our audience. So we're constantly evolving. Last week we did the Reddit stories, which was fun. This week we're going to kind of do that, but a little bit more as well. Less talking, more
stuff.
Yeah. I suppose that's a good way to put it. Stuff.
Yeah, we've decided. Yeah, we're going to continue with the Reddit stories this week. As a matter of fact, we're going to open.
We're going to open with a Reddit story. Ooh, and I don't know what it is.
No, it's my turn to pick. So I've realised that I've left my phone not here. So I'm going to need to go grab it.
We're going to
and then
clap in, clap out.
Well, not we're going to clap in.
We're going to tap in, tap out. Boom.
Right. And here we go.
Ooh. All right, look at that little transition.
So I'm going to grab my phone. I've got the Reddit story up. Are you excited, Alex?
I'm absolutely ecstatic.
Absolutely
ecstatic.
All right, so this one, TIFU. What is it?
I fucked up.
Oh, I don't actually know. I don't even know what I meant
today. No, because we talked about we were on the thread today. I fucked up last week.
Oh yeah, we were.
You're not going to read the same story too, are you?
Oh shit! It was about a dude with some sex playlist, wasn't it? I'm only fucking with you. I'm only pulling your fucking leg. Anywho.
Moving on.
TIFU by by enraging the parents of my girlfriend by pretending not to know what a potato is.
That's pretty funny.
Right. Let me tell you that I have made a bad mistake this evening. My girlfriend, who let me tell you is only my second girlfriend of all time, said I am invited to dinner with her and her parents. I was very aghast, nervous, and bashful to be invited to such a situation.
Is this guy writing a fucking English essay? What's with all the big words about a potato?
Seems like it. But, yeah, bloody flashbacks to high school I'm getting now. But I knew it must be done. I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way. The idea slapped my mind that I should do a comic bit to make a good impression and become known to them as a person who is amusing.
I mean, it's a way to assert dominance, obviously.
Yeah. When I saw that baked potatoes were served, I got the idea that it would be very good if I pretended I did not know what he wrote this weird. Did not know what potatoes were. He says potatoes was.
That's incorrect.
Wrinkle in my brain. That would be funny. Well, let me tell you, backfired on my face. I'll tell you how. So first, when the potato came on my plate, holy crap, this really is written like a fucking English essay.
Yeah, except he doesn't use the right grammar.
He doesn't use the right grammar, so I keep stumbling over every second word.
Make it up as you go along.
My dyslexia isn't liking this. I acted very what the hell? I acted very interesting. I showed an expression on my face so as to seem that I was confused, astounded, but in a restrained way. Curious and interested. They did notice and seemed confused, but did not remark. So I asked, looks very interesting. What is it? They stared at me and the mother said, it's a baked potato. And I was saying, oh, interesting. A baked, what is it again? And she was like, a potato. And I was like, a potato? Oh, interesting. Never heard of a potato. It looks pretty good.
I can then imagine them being so annoyed and frustrated by this.
And then they didn't see I was clowning, but thought I really did not know what a potato is. It doesn't have his though. It just says not know what is a potato. So I knew I would be very shamed, humiliated, depressed, and disgusted if I admitted to making a bad joke. So what I did was to act as if it was not a joke, but I committed to the act of pretending I didn't know what a potato is. They asked me, very incredulous, did I really not know what a potato is? That I'd never heard of a potato? I went with it and told them, yes, I did not ever even hear of potato.
I respect the fact that he's committed to it.
Not only had I never eaten a potato, I had never heard the word potato before. I suppose that's the thing though, like once you sometimes in life you're presented with two choices.
either back out and look like a coward or double down. And in this instance my man chose to double down.
This went on for a bit. My girlfriend was acting very confused and embarrassed by my fucked up and antics.
Did she obviously knew that he knew what a potato was.
Piss, yeah. And then the more insistent I was about not knowing what a potato is, was when then parents started thinking I did know what a potato was. But let me tell you, I had to commit 100% at this point. When I would not admit to knowing what a potato was, the father especially began to get annoyed. At one point, he said something like, enough is enough. You're fucking with us. Admit it. And I said, sir, before today, I'd never heard of potato. I still don't know what a potato is, other than some kind of food. I don't know what to tell you. Well, let me tell you, he got very annoyed. I decided to take a bite of the potato, and when I did, I made a strange high-pitched noise and said, tastes very strange. That is when the father started yelling at me, and the mother kept saying, what are you doing? And my girlfriend went to some other room. Finally, the father said I should get the fuck out of his house. And I said it was irrational to treat me like this just because I'd never heard of a potato before. But let me tell you, he didn't take that kindly. Now in text messages, I've been telling my girlfriend I really don't know what a potato is. The only way I can ever get out of this is for them to buy that I really don't know what a potato is. I wish I never started it, but I can't go back. I think she will probably break up with me anyway.
Well, wow. Look, I respect him for doubling down. My man is clearly not a coward.
No.
I'll give him that. But also, like, he needs to die with this lie.
Yeah,
for it to
thing is,
work.
I reckon I probably would have pulled the pin pretty early on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, haha,
Bad joke.
good one.
Yeah.
Just my zany sense of humor.
But like, this man, he's also just admitted in the thread that he's like, my girlfriend would probably break up with
Yeah.
me. My man is willing to sacrifice his new relationship in order of the lie.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, it's funny, but, you know, I wouldn't fucking do it. For a first time meeting the parents, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Well, look, you know,
Probably
I appreciate his effort of trying to make a good, like, trying to make an impression that was a little bit different from what other people would normally say.
Yeah, it is a bit of a power move.
It is a power move, I'll give him that. Is his name there? Does he have a name?
Nah, it's not off Reddit.
Do you think
itself,
he's
it's on
lying?
the website. It's written like an English essay, like we brought up, but potentially
It's written like an English essay if it was written...
it was written by it was written like an English essay if it was someone writing an English essay who didn't know what grammar was.
But new big words.
New big words. Yeah, he used a lot of big words, but it was really bad.
So, yeah.
So yeah.
I don't reckon he's telling the truth. I reckon, like, it's a funny story, but I don't know. There's no way. No
Nah.
way you would be willing to sacrifice a relationship on the basis
But
of
also
a
you
crappy joke that you
would
told
also
it.
think that you wouldn't. I guess you wouldn't think to yourself it would go that way.
But he's also realised it's gone that way and then
Just
doubled
like,
down.
yeah, doubled down. Yeah. So yeah, don't know what is of him these days.
He hopefully knows what a potato is by now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, he found out.
He did find
He
out.
did find that out,
I can't imagine the frustration of the parents though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, it's just a fucking baked potato. What do you mean? But and then it's not even eating, but it's the hearing as well.
Yeah.
Like, even if you didn't like potatoes, it's very difficult to miss potatoes. Chips, like potato chips, like, you know, Smith's chips, actual potatoes themselves. Like, there are so many different variants of where potatoes come from
Yeah.
and get put into mashed potato. Like, even like going out to dinner, like chips and mashed potato. Like,
Yeah, there's so many ways you know.
there's there's no way they believed him.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, thank you for that wonderful story. How was your week? What'd you get up to? You went to Coffs, didn't you?
I did go to Coffs, drove down Friday evening and came back Sunday to see my grandma and auntie,
Nice.
my girlfriend.
How is grandma? She well?
She's pretty good.
Yeah?
Still kicking
What's she
after
up to these
grandpa
days?
died.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, she's actually technically not my grandma because my real grandma died before I was born, and then my grandfather remarried. But I still consider her as my grandma.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that was nice. Drove down Friday night and came back Sunday. It was pretty hot yesterday because my car's air conditioning doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, how'd you go with the drive?
It was crap. It cracked 40 degrees while we were driving home. And for our American listeners, 40 degrees is approximately be about 110, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty fucking hot. So that was nice.
Nice.
Stopped at the Ballina service center. It's shit there. The service is shit. Took me 20 minutes to get my fucking food. So that was fucking crap.
Doesn't like the Ballina Service Centre.
No, don't go there. If you go to pick another service center, go to the Chindera one.
I've never actually stopped in the Ballina one.
Don't.
Noted.
So yeah. What about your week? How's yours?
Good, I'm trying to think of what I did now.
Didn't you get on the piss a fair bit last week? Didn't you have a lot of work dinners?
No, that was the week before.
Oh, it was last week, wasn't it?
No, we've already talked about this. That was the week before last. It was 2 weeks ago now. Now last week was relatively tame, to be honest. Nothing too crazy, just work. Did also see my grandma.
You did see her?
I did.
You already seen her? She's already here?
She's here.
I
saw her on Sunday.
Yeah.
No, so my grandma's here from Western Australia. Didn't really know she was coming. From my dad, by the way, your grandma's probably coming at some stage. And then it happened to, I'm picking up your grandma from the airport tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God.
Grandma's here.
And then so had lunch with her yesterday, which was nice. Dad did barbecue and stuff like that, which was cool. But I mean, I'm away most of this week, so
yeah, won't see much of her.
But she's here for a little bit, so fortunately there is more time.
Yeah, that's good.
So when I come back from a little holiday, I'm going on holidays this week for a whole 3 days. Woo!
When was the last time you had a day where you just didn't touch anything work related or?
I thought you meant something else, but I didn't touch. It's gonna be a long time.
You're like, well, actually.
For
It's been a long
legal reasons, that was a joke.
It's been a long mating season for Bird Person.
Yeah, so no. Last time I had a holiday was probably Christmas. It wasn't that long ago. Even then, it was a 3-day break. But no, heading up, having a bit of a resort. It's my girlfriend's birthday, so that'll be nice. So I'll talk about that more next week. But yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Decent week for me. No events. No major situations.
Quiet one for your standards.
Quiet one for my standards. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have anything interesting to discuss from my week. Just another stock standard one.
All right, so what we're going to reflect back on now is where we've worked previously, right? So I worked for an unnamed fast food establishment, and I saw my fair share of customer interactions and people at their best, I feel like. You see people at their best when you're working as a team member or manager in a fast food company.
Yes. We are from Coffs Harbour, as we've mentioned several million times. There are a lot of characters around Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't know how to say it, character around Coffs. A lot of character.
Yeah. But most notably, there used to be this beautiful, lovely I'm going to talk about the good first. I feel like we often focus on the negative and a bit of the raunchy, but I'm actually going to focus on this couple that I will forever remember as one of my favorite customers of all time. There was this little Asian couple. They barely spoke a wink of English, and you always knew when they came to the speaker box what they wanted. Well, I knew anyway, but some other team members and stuff always struggled to understand what they were saying. But what they would end up saying is handsome working? They used to call me handsome, which was very cute. I was like 15, 16 at the time. And I'd always talk to these guys. I knew exactly what they wanted. I knew their order off by heart. As soon as they came to the speaker box, I'd hear their voice and I would know, I know what these guys want. So they always come through and they'd always ask for me. And every time they come to the window, they'd be like, handsome, handsome, good to see you, handsome. And I'm like, bless you guys. You guys are amazing. Very, very lovely people. I'd always give them like, obviously like, you got to give them a free, you've always got to give them something free, like keep them entertained, but also like they deserved it. They were very lovely people. They were in like
extra things into the bag.
Yeah. Like they were in every, like probably like twice a week.
Yeah.
Like I got to give them credit. They were there a lot. But they were very, very nice couple. And I will always remember them as one of my favorite customers of all time. And I had really good interactions when I used to do like service and stuff like that. I loved customer service, clearly, because I like to talk. And I very rarely had bad interactions with people. I'd get involved in bad situations. Like I didn't instigate, but I would have to deal with, because I was in management for a while there too. And like a story that I had once was, my restaurant manager was on the phone to someone who was abusing him. And then he was like threatening him, and he's like, I just got out of jail. Like, you got my order, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm going to come bash you, etc., etc. So my restaurant manager at the time, which was a mistake, said, all right, do it then, pussy. 20 minutes later, old mate rocks up, tattooed fella. Like, we're talking face tats. Like,
Yeah.
He storms in. My restaurant manager is there. Like, I know who this is. Like, my man picks up the register and goes to throw it. But we had this really big Slovakian dude. I'm not gonna say his name, but like really big Slovakian dude.
Luka Doncic?
No, but he came out. He's this big dude. Then the guy ended up just like backing up. But he jumped the can, like picked up the register to like throw it, and then he saw like the big Slovakian dude, and then there was another guy as well, and he's just like, okay, I'm probably gonna lose this, and then decided to leave. But yeah, I've seen my fair share of things. But I got to give credit. There are some good people in the world, but
there are a lot of terrible people in the world too.
What about you? Do you have any crazy stories, wacky stories?
Yeah, I've got a few. I used to work for a popular supermarket chain.
Yeah.
In Australia. I also won't say their name. But there's a couple of stories that come to mind. One is, I remember back when I first started there, I used to stack shelves. Was my first role. And I remember dropping a bottle of Coke, and it landed on the lid, and the lid like shattered. And I guess the force of dropping it caused it to explode and shoot like a fucking rocket.
Yeah. And
it literally shot under the shelf and shot across like 5 aisles under the shelf.
I think I've heard this story.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because I'd never seen that happen before, and I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen. It happened to me a couple of more times after.
How many times did it happen that you dropped a bloody
Dropped
Coke
it
bottle?
perfectly on the lid and that it would explode, or a can. Cans are a pain in the ass. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck just happened? That's one story.
Did you injure anyone?
Nah, it was like 8 o'clock at night, so the store was pretty quiet. So yeah, just shot across. It was a big mess, so it would be clean up, because as well, I couldn't just leave this Coke that was under the shelves. So I just stick a mop under there and clean it up.
Yeah.
But I remember another one was I used to answer the phones a lot. Because,
big man.
well, because no one else liked to, but I didn't mind it because it kind of killed a bit of time.
Yeah.
And if I was bored, I was like, yeah. No, most of the time it was some random crap, just thrown through to whoever they wanted to speak to. But it would also occasionally be a customer complaint.
Yeah.
And they were always a bit funny. I remember one in particular that sticks with me. He bought a frozen microwave meal from us. And he said he got food poisoning from it. Mm-hmm. And he started going into this graphic detail about his food poisoning that he got from it.
As in, like, he started talking about which ends it came out
Yeah,
of.
pretty much. And he said he'd never had this reaction before to anything. And like, and then he started talking to me about like all his theories about why he got food poisoning from it. And I just kind of sat there listening to him, and then I was like, mate, I can't really help you with this. You're probably gonna have to talk to the manufacturer. This isn't a Coles issue. This is a issue with the supplier.
Yeah.
What else? I remember a couple of times as well. Once I nearly crushed myself because we had the pallets. I remember I once fucked up pulling the pallet, and I nearly crushed myself between the pallet and the wall. So that was a close one.
Was that just your own stupidity though?
Yeah, that was a silly mistake on my part. I can't remember what I did, but obviously it was a bit silly
A
that
little bit silly.
I got myself in that situation.
Correct.
Another time was
You can stop and step back.
another time was when I first started. I was pushing like a roll cage, and there was a lady just buying some milk.
You didn't hit her with the roll cage, did you?
No, I would have though. So I was on a trajectory for her with the roll cage, but then someone else I worked with yelled out at me, "Aaron, stop!" And I stopped, and I was so close to getting up, and she had no idea as well what was about to happen to her.
She's out there like picking out.
Like she never even really realized that I nearly hit her. So I would have got her. So that was a close one. And another time as well was when a pallet collapsed and we fucking spilled like 5 liters of oil everywhere.
Oh, that would
and
have been fun to
oil
clean
is
up.
a bitch to clean up.
Like I said, I work for an unnamed fast
Top
food restaurant.
Top tip if you're cleaning up oil though, kitty litter
Or sand.
or sand. Kitty litter or sand.
Yeah.
It's kitty litter if you don't have sand on
Yeah.
hand. But yeah, they're just a few of the fun tales of my working life, most of which made me want to die.
He's moved on to bigger, better
But I've
things.
moved on to bigger, better things. Have I though? All right, this isn't the existential crisis
No,
podcast. It's
no.
a six-pack podcast.
This is a 6-pack. None of us have 6-packs.
No,
We drink them.
we drink them. The alcohol is what stops us from having the existential
Correct.
crisis.
Correct.
So we've got a second Reddit story for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you brought me 2 last week, so I thought it was only fair if I
only
brought
fair.
you 2 this week. So this one is: what is the most cringeworthy thing you did to woo your crush?
Ooh, I'd like to hear what you actually have done.
We'll do that at the end.
after
We'll do
this,
that at the
yeah.
end. I've got a few things
Yeah.
actually. That
Okay,
still
go, read
Well,
story.
now you're making me have a
Flashback.
flashbacks.
Alright.
You probably got a few cringy things to add just about me alone. Anywho, we're off topic. So, when I was in 6th grade, my parents talked me into going to a week-long church camp. I knew of, but didn't know personally any of the kids going, but they sold me that everyone would praise Jesus, ride horses, and have a good time. I decided to go. It was like a 6 hours drive in one of those big white vans. Sounds like a fucking cult so far. Quickly, everyone started whipping out their CD cases and exchanging music, and I was instantly like, fuck. I only had 2 CDs, Britney Spears, Baby One More Time, and Everclear. I don't even know what Everclear is. Is that by Britney Spears as well?
I think. I don't
Maybe.
know.
You'll put in a thing now where what that is. I was a really weird kid. Everyone was trying to talk to me about music, and I had honestly never heard of any of the bands they were talking about. So, I mean, Britney is probably like, early 2000s. I just wanted to jam to some Britney to myself. So, naturally, I went the elitist route. So, I had all that music, and I was listening to some new underground private shit they hadn't heard of. Once we get to camp, all I'm thinking is let's find some friends quick because I can't talk to these kids anymore. I go to the pool and make some friends with a few older kids. There were 3 girls, 2 guys, and me. They were all in 8th grade, so obviously they were really cool. Plus, I thought the girls were really hot. I figured this would be the best time.
I wasn't sure if this was a male or a female telling the story, but now I know who it is.
I'm still not sure.
That's true.
Plus, I thought the girls were really hot, and I figured this would be the best time, if any, to get my first kiss. I mean, clearly, if they're into Britney Spears, we can already see where this story is going. Their windshield wipers were turned up to the maximum with all the game's 6th grade me spitting.
I have no fucking clue what that means.
Neither do I. We decided to leave the pool and walk around the camp till we all had to have a group meetup. The cabins were separated by grades, so they said they would walk by the 6th grade cabin and pick me up.
Hey.
He's in. First thing I do is put on my freshest outfit. Great time to break out my fresh white t-shirt. Can't forget my jean shorts. This was pre-faded denim, so this was the industrial bright blue jean shorts. It's summer in Texas, so I may as well top the outfit off with knee-high white socks. I'm just going to pull the New Balances out as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. It says, and of course for the biddies, Doc Martens. Fuck, the New Balances would have done a better job. I look like a weird redneck lumberjack. So I walk out and they're kind of like, what the fuck, but whatever. It's kiss time. We start walking, one of the older guys farts, and all the girls laugh. Boom. Found my in. My friend Travis and I have been making fart jokes for quite some time, so I'm up to speed on this area of humour. Bam. The other guy farts and all the girls laugh even harder. Got him. Now I'm thinking all I have to do is drop the biggest fart, and literally the girls are going to laugh so hard they're all going to kiss me one by one. I start clenching and squeezing my stomach as hard as I can. I'm
Oh,
walking.
no.
I'm walking like a newborn deer. Then I feel it. Got a big one ready. So instead of just dropping it out and laughing, I wanted to make a big show about it. I run in front of the group, squat down, turn my head around, and forcefully shit myself. This is all out diarrhea.
Oh my god!
If you didn't know this before, early 90s denim, holy shit, Britney Spears was around the early 90s, was the least forgiving fabric in the world. Everyone knew I shit. It's running down my leg and being soaked up by my knee-high socks.
He just gets brown socks.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
Instantly, I just react and start running, kicking up shit like mud off a truck. I've never been to this camp before, so I'm just running for anything. I find a bathroom, toss the socks box's shirt, but I couldn't drop the jorts. I can't just walk across the church camp naked. Plus, at this point, I'm thinking maybe they didn't really see it. I was really confident in my speed at the time, so I was thinking I could say that's my thing.
What, he just farts and runs away?
Yeah. I drop giant farts and run before the smell catches me. Come to find out, not only were the 5 people I shit in front of outside the bathroom waiting for me, but there were like 25 other kids.
Oh my gosh.
Instantly, I just ran in my docs and jorts combo back to the cabin I was staying in with the other kids chasing me and yelling, shit pants.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh no. Did he get his kiss?
Well, there's still a little bit left of
Yeah.
the story, so maybe.
I hope he got his kiss.
I run to my bed and find all the music nerds I drove up with going through my CD case. It only has 2 CDs. They're like, what the fuck? I thought you had tons of secret music, bro. Wait, did you shit your pants? Could you just imagine that, like, going through?
What do you look? Do you mean this is beyond Britney Spears?
I
What
was
do you
gonna say
mean?
going through their 2 fucking CDs, how they go
Yeah.
through, opening it up, and they're just looking up like, wait, do you shit your pants?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was about 4 hours into a week-long trip. I really thought farting would impress these girls. I lost my favorite pair of jorts and pride that day. That one was a lot better, better written than the first one, that's for sure. And a lot
Oh.
funnier too.
Gosh, that's terrible.
It is
I feel so
terrible.
bad for that guy.
Uh,
Well, I don't know if it was specified, but yeah, far out. I don't know what I'd do in that situation.
I don't know what I do either.
He never got his kiss. Well, they never got their kiss.
No,
Instead, he just walked away with shit.
I'm pretty sure
pants.
it's his.
Yeah, I think so too.
Uh,
But
the Britney
What?
Spears thing's a bit odd.
walked away with shitty pants and no kiss.
Yeah,
And he even got outcasted by the music kids.
I know. I think the music kids are probably more popular in those days, though. They're not like the Glee Club kind of kids where
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, but still, regardless, he's been out. That was 4 hours into that trip. Imagine
Yeah.
going to
For a week.
school trip for a week, shitting your pants, 4 hours into it, and being outcasted by everyone.
That's another power move, I reckon.
Depends how you handle it. I don't think he handled it like
Nah.
a power move.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
the
the-
power move, he would have just done it and stood there in his ground and watched it leak out and be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Give me this guy's fart. I shit myself.
I had a shit.
Yeah, I had
I
to
just,
one up it.
I just do it where I need to do it.
Yeah, but that's a power move.
I gotta go, I go. What do you think? And they would probably think a pretty similar thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. Poor guy.
Ripperoni.
Reparating.
So, follow up to the Reddit story.
I did ask you a question of what are your cringy stories in terms of, well, what is the cringiest way you've tried to woo any of your crushes?
I don't have any real cringy ways of trying to woo them. Well, I do have one, but I have one story that I remember now first that actually does involve you.
Oh, okay.
I was
Then it was how I wooed my crush, or
no.
I was just
Well, it
involved?
didn't have anything to do with wooing a crush. It was more to do with the fallout after, I guess, a crush.
Okay.
Or the end of a thing,
Okay,
really.
please explain.
You'll
Like,
remember. I'll say the first bit, and you'll immediately remember what it was. So I think we were at a McDonald's, and I'd fallen out with this girl in our group.
Oh, I know where this is
And
going.
I was not talking very kindly of her.
I wasn't there though, was I?
I can't remember.
I was there for the aftermath.
You were there for the
After
aftermath. I was at a McDonald's with some friends, and it was a fallout after this thing with me and this girl had ended, and I wasn't speaking very nicely about her because I wasn't too happy at the time.
You
And
weren't
it-
like saying anything.
No,
terrible.
I wasn't
You just
saying
like
anything
you just
terrible.
were like this kind of sucked. Like
Yeah, I wasn't happy though.
yeah.
And it turned out her dad was sitting behind me. So the next day we got to school, and she was not pleased, as it had gotten back to her that I had said these
Particular
things.
someone was talking shit.
So we ended up having a chat. I think she ended up confronting me, I think at like recess or lunch, and we had a chat about it, and the chat didn't go all that well. So she ended
Did
up.
you know before she approached you that her dad had heard?
No, I didn't ever see. Don't think I'd ever really seen her much of a dad. I think I'd seen him a bit.
Like he didn't say anything. He just
No, he just
listened and then took it away.
off. So yeah, it didn't go too well. So she ended up. Well, no, she ended up getting very upset in class. She didn't say anything. She got upset in class. So the year coordinator. We were like 2 weeks away from graduating year 12 at this point too.
Yeah.
And so she ended up. I ended up getting called to the year coordinator's office that afternoon with a please explain what the hell this is.
I don't want to deal with this. You're 2 weeks
So I
away
told
from
I
graduating.
told her the story, and she was like, "Yeah, look, you sort it. I just wanted
Not my problem.
I just wanted to find out it was nothing too serious. You're 2 weeks. She said it's 2 weeks. You're 2 weeks out. Stay out of trouble."
Go sort your shit out.
So then it ended up being. So I was like, all right. So I did try to sort it. So I was like, she lived near where I lived at the time, and I was like, all right, can I come over so we can have a big chat and work all this out? So I went over there. We had our big chat, and then as I was leaving,
Can I take over from here?
oh no, hold on, I got a bit more to add because her dad ended up coming out too while I was having this big chat with her, and he like had a few words to say to me as well.
Yeah.
But that didn't go too badly. He wasn't happy with me. He didn't like me, but he also wasn't too bad either.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Yeah.
So I ended up leaving.
Can I take over from here?
All right.
So Aaron ends up leaving, as he said. I then was with my now roommate at the time, like one of our best friends, and him and I were either going to the gym or I think it was on our way back.
Well, I
from the
was
gym.
going to meet, and I think I was meeting years after that.
Yeah, but
I was definitely. I think you were coming out.
I was
that way to
definitely
pick me
coming
up.
up that way.
Oh no,
And-
because I was driving, so you wouldn't be coming out to pick me up.
I think we're doing something, or
Yeah. I think I remember what we were doing, but I think that's another story for another
I
day.
do think so as well. So anyway, we're heading up that way anyway, and I get this phone call from Aaron, and I didn't think much of it because again we're already expecting to meet him. The first thing he says to me, "Fuck, Alex, fuck, I fucked up big time," and I don't know, like I was kind of one of those friends growing up that you
knew as well.
Or I knew you were there, but also like I was one of those friends that people would call me when they were in a situation, and then I'd help get them out of it. And Aaron always used to get himself into situations, so you often ended up calling.
I
me
got
to
in
help.
myself actually in a couple of situations with that car within a few weeks of each other.
Yeah, which I helped you get out.
Both of which at least the two that I can think of,
Yeah,
you helped me get out.
but in
of.
this situation, he goes, "Fuck, Alex, I fucked up," and I was like, "What have you said?" Because like I knew he was with this girl and like talking things out. I was like, "What have you done? Like the dad's gonna kill you."
Yeah, the dad's got the shotgun out.
Dad's got
and
the
he's
shotgun
punching
out.
me.
What's going on? And then he goes, and I went, "So what?" The conversation go, yeah. Conversation went well. And he was like, "What happened then?" So where this girl lived was on a property, like it was like big property or decent sized property, and the driveway was a thin driveway, and either side of the driveway there was like an embankment, like a ditch, and there was like a pipe that went underneath the driveway. Turns out Aaron had backed off the driveway, so his car was like. So imagine this is the driveway. This is Aaron's car, like hanging off. Your back wheel, wasn't it?
Yeah, my back wheel was just
Your
in
back
the
wheel
air.
was in the air, and he goes, "Fuck, Alex, I fucked up. I backed off this
So the car was
driveway.
pretty much
I'm stuck.
balanced, yeah,
I can't move."
The car was pretty much just balancing on the bottom of it. And I didn't want to go back to the house, ask for help. I was like, I just went through all this shit. I don't want to deal with that again.
Yeah, but
So
I
cool,
was
dude.
still like 20 minutes away.
You were. But while I was waiting, a couple of other blokes we went to school with went past and they saw my car. And they were like, oh, do you need a hand? I was like, yeah, that'd be fucking swell, actually.
But the dad and the girl.
Yeah,
came
once
there.
they got there and we were starting to get the car out, they finally looked out their front window, saw me there. And they were like, why didn't you just come ask us for help? I was like, fuck, I've just fucking shot myself in the foot because I may as well just gone up there anyway.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go back like, oh, please, can I get a bit of a hand?
I know I was talking shit now, I've just apologised, but I reversed
Yeah.
off your driveway. So I arrive and like everyone I think was leaving at that point, like Aaron.
At that point, it was
I
all
was-
been sorted. But everyone was still standing around
Everyone's still
when
standing
you
around.
got there.
Yeah, it was very, very funny. Like I
Ah.
was in stitches.
I wanted to die.
I still remember the fuck, Alex, fuck, I fucked up, I'm in trouble, I need your help.
Our friend
Our friend cracking up as well.
Bleep. Bleep cracking up as well.
Yeah. But still, very good situation to be involved in. From the outsider perspective, I'm glad I wasn't in Aaron's shoes there.
So that was probably the worst one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright,
Okay.
so we've got our first challenge.
Yeah. Do you want to context? What's the challenge? What's this whole new segment that we're
So
doing?
this is a new segment we're going to do. Hoping each week we're going to
challenge.
alternate. We're going to alternate, and one person challenge the other person to a challenge. So this week's challenge will be a bottle flip challenge. So today we've got a bottle, and what we're going to do. So as you can see, this table is sort of in these
Little segments.
little segments. So the idea will be to flip the bottle 10 times while still keeping it in your segment. Whoever lands the most flips wins. Loser, of course, will have to do a punishment. So the punishment may change from week to week, but this week's punishment will be to do a shot.
Shot of their choice.
A shot, but the loser does get to pick the choice of shot.
Oh. Okay.
Or do you think?
No, I think that's great.
I think that's great.
That's good.
Yeah, we're going to keep it. That's not the most brutal it could be. It may potentially get more brutal in the
Yeah.
week.
Start it off nice and easy.
But we're going to
right?
start off a bit easier.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
Alright.
So we're going to move the mic so it doesn't sound too loud, but we're going to chop back in once that's all set up.
Alright, so we're going to do this is we get 10 flips each. and
10
we're
flips
gonna-
each.
We're going to alternate. So I'll do one, Alex will do one, I'll do one, Alex will do one. So yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
first. Alright.
No, this bottle's fucked.
Why have you got two? Shit, that was way too much. Alright, that's it. Alex loses. That's all we get.
Game's fucking
Aaron.
stupid.
Takes round one.
That was
of the
shit. That was the
challenge
worst
royale.
fucking game I've ever played. That was a terrible
Well, you get
challenge.
to do your shot now, don't you?
Oh, alright, well you go and pick me a shot. Give me a little
Well, you get to
shot.
pick your own shot.
Do it? No, I reckon you go pick it.
Alright, I'm gonna pick it. So, Alex lost.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud.
Our
I'm not proud.
inaugural-
0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Not
Our
proud.
inaugural bowl flip challenge. I did say that he got to pick the shot, however, he decided to pass it off to me and that I could pick the shot. So today I have picked for him this bottle of tequila.
Fucking hell.
But you're keen for this. I know how much you love your tequila.
Especially with, oh, I can smell it.
So Alex will now do his shot of tequila as a punishment. I'm sure this will come back to bite him in the ass the next week.
I'm going to pick the worst fucking game that you've ever played.
Bottoms up. Was that pleasant?
Delightful.
Delightful. We're about to head into our brew review. How would you rate this bottle of Sierra tequila?
Sierra is one of the worst of those.
It's just the cheap shit when it comes to tequilas.
Yep. No, I had a Peruvian roommate who would drink Patron, which is good tequila. And he was like, never, ever, Jesus, I'm drunk. Never do you dare put a bottle of Sierra in front of me, otherwise I will spit in your general direction. So, needless to say, as in, I'm in danger.
Yeah, not a fan of this tequila, so
Ugh.
do not recommend. I hate tequila, just to say. So
Well, I don't mind if it's
I'll
salt and
give it a
lime.
10.
Like, I do a tequila shot every now and again.
Alright, so brew.
Oh, that was all tequila.
Brew review. So you lost our inaugural challenge.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't enjoy losing either.
No.
I thought you'd beat me on that too because you were always.
I used to bottle flip a lot.
You did.
Like I might. Do I have videos? I might have a video. I'll throw up a video if I've got one. But I used to bottle flip a lot. But what I used to use was the Dare iced coffee, like the iced coffee bottles, and the longer ones. I haven't had much experience with the short ones.
In all fairness, this was the best option we could find. This bottle. So brew review. This week, what are we drinking?
Do you want to talk it or do I? I will. All right. This is an interesting one. It is a German imported beer, actually. It is Hoffler. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's a Hoffler lager, German, fully imported lager. I say fully imported, but it is brewed and bottled in Germany for Pinnacle Drinks.
Pinnacle? Wasn't that who we discussed last week?
It was the same company from last week. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. But I have to say, this has been a lot better than last week.
It has been significantly better.
When I had that first couple of sips, I was like, I don't love this. But now that we've kept drinking it, I've vomited.
I actually think it's quite good.
I think it's quite good too.
But we talked a lot of smack on Pinnacle Drinks last week.
But Pinnacle Drinks have redeemed themselves.
They've redeemed themselves.
With this.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure that Bluey beer was off.
Yeah, I think it was a bit fucked.
But I'll go first this time. I feel like I always put you first. But this, German imported beer, 4% alcohol concentration, 1.0 standard drinks. Apparently brewed under the German Fairity law. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, it's got a bit hoppy. It's got a good barley flavor to it. It's not too heavy because it's obviously a 1.0, so it's a good mix. But I actually think it's quite good.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I think it's up there for me.
Like, I mean, it is one of your lighter sorts of beers.
It's one of the better light beers that I've had. I'll give it that. I think with light beers, it's easy to taste really watery and not as flavoursome.
Look, I mean, something to factor in as well was the price.
This was $42. $42 for a carton. And that wasn't even special.
Yeah.
That wasn't even special.
That is the cheapest carton I've ever heard of. And for a $42 carton, it's really, for the price, this is the best, for that price, this is the best cheap beer I've ever had. There's, the Audi, there's stuff you can get from other supermarkets, such as Audi, that just is not compare for that sort of price.
Yeah.
So you've got to factor that in too, I think.
I wouldn't rate it above a 5 because I think there's other beers above 5, but I would rate it. I'd probably put it at a 4.6 for myself.
Yeah, I'd go 5 on the nose. Like I said initially when I tasted it, I was like, I'm not a fan of this, but this is now something that I would buy again.
I would actually buy this again, especially for $42. Yeah.
But even then, I would be willing to pay a little bit more for it.
Yeah, I'd say this is a 45.
Pinnacle Drinks have really redeemed themselves this week.
Well done.
They needed it after last week.
Yeah,
I didn't
rate that one above a 1.
No, we really roasted last week's beer, but this one's really good. Yeah. But that's the thing that does now make, like you said, make me question whether or not it was just off or a bad.
I reckon it was a bad drink. So who knows? One of the next episodes we'll re-drink Bluey again because that genuinely was crap.
I don't know if we're going to re-drink it too soon because I don't really want to.
No, that was awful.
But eventually we will re-review Bluey. After this we will give them another.
We'll give Pinnacle Drinks another go.
Well, I think we'll unintentionally give Pinnacle Drinks more.
Clearly, because we just did it.
We did it anyway. But yeah, I rate it.
Yep. So I gave it a
4.6. I think it was
4.6. You gave it a
5. But all right, final little add-on. What do you rate the tequila out of 6? I think that bottle of tequila's been sitting in that cupboard now for a considerable amount of time.
I'd give it a 2.
What would you rate a good tequila out of though? Because tequila's just crap no matter what.
On its own, especially without salt and lime, the highest rating I'd probably give a good tequila is probably 4.5.
4.5.
Without salt and lime. That's just tequila on its own. So I'd probably give it a 2. Maybe a little bit less. Yeah. I'd say 1.8, 2.
So this beer is better than a good tequila.
Oh, fuck really definitely. I'd drink 3 of them versus 1 shot of tequila.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So All right, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Six Pack Podcast. Truth be told, is we really enjoy recording these episodes, and I think this has probably been one of our best episodes yet. As you can tell, I'm not sure if you had the chance to watch our other podcast episodes yet. Click on me, and you can see our last week's episode of the podcast. But we try to evolve these with each podcast as we go on, based on the feedback and kind of the thing that we get from it. So please feel free to leave us a comment, subscription, and a like. A subscription for us means that you're enjoying the content, you want to see more of it. And also, if there's anything else you want to change, improve, we want to get your engagement. So please leave us a comment or like. Again, click on me. You can see this week's or last week's episode of the podcast. Click on Aaron. Usually when we do this podcast, we record Phasmophobia afterwards. So we've got a Phasmophobia video. Last week's was pretty good. So check out that one. Very fun, very engaging. So check it out if you want to see more gaming content.
All right, goodbye. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
And watching.